Hello peoples of YouTube, my name is Araceli. This is the makeup look that I'm gonna be doing. It's I don't want to say it's natural, but it's an everyday look that I like to wear. I don't wear makeup every day, but this, you know, if I did, this is what I would be wearing. You can interchange the lipstick, the eyes, whatever, but it's kind of the basics of what I do in my normal routine, whether it's an everyday look or a full coverage. Just the amounts, you know, vary. But if you want to see this look, you know, just keep on watching, and if you don't, well, then at least you watch the beginning. So thank you. First step, well, I guess let's start from the beginning. Wash your face, because you don't want a crusty face when you're working with makeup. I mean, I've done it before, but the makeup doesn't lay like nice, so you gotta wash your face and moisturize, whatever your favorite moisturizer is, you know, oily skin, dry skin, whatever you have. Do that. If you want, put some chapstick on. I got this little like lip mask thing, so I put that on. I don't do it all the time, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I just don't care about my lips and I leave them dry. After you have your moisturizer on, let it sink in a little bit, and then you're gonna get your primer. And I use, now I probably put on an excessive amount compared to some people, and I know you always hear to only use a little bit, you know, it defeats the purpose if you use a lot. Clog all the pores up so they don't show in the makeup, because that sounds good. All right, step one is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in with the foundation. This is one of my favorite ones. If you want like full coverage, because you know, this is it's like the 2-in-1. It's a concealer and a foundation. But it still looks like, it looks pretty natural, which is, I'm not a full coverage type of person. This is a time where, you know, spend your most time on your foundation. That's what I think. The more you blend it in, the more natural it's gonna look on your skin. When we're coming closer to the nose, I don't know if, you know, I'm sure some of you guys get this problem where it starts to separate on your nose and it starts to look really ugly. Don't put the foundation on your nose. Like, don't, you know, go ahead and put a glob on your nose. What I do is whatever like is extra on your sponge or on your brush, that's what you're gonna take up onto your nose, and then blend down the neck. Oh wait, I'm gonna blend down on my lip. If your foundation is completely a different color from your neck, but it matches like your shoulder, then cover up your whole neck, your chest. Make sure that you're the same color all over. You don't want to be like, you know, brown up here and then white down here. Step 3 for me is going to be concealer. So I usually just do one pump on the back of my hand. So another thing that I learned for my under eyes is don't put all the products so close up to your eye. You want to kind of put it more so down here and work your way up, and try and blend out and keep the product really more like in this area. If you have problems with your under eye creasing or it looking cakey, bring it up on your eyelids, because that's going to be your eyeshadow. Or not. What am I saying? Oh my god. It's gonna be your primer for your eyelid. Just excuse me. There's a bright light in my face and I don't know what I'm saying, and it feels different. Just so you guys know, it's not the same as doing your makeup when you're just, you know, chilling in your room doing your makeup. It's different. So I'm forgetting a couple steps. But it's gonna act as your primer to keep your eyeshadow on. If you want to use a primer, go for it. Use a primer. I'm not going to, so there's no point in me showing you guys that. Alright, and then I don't like to have like a too highlighted nose, and again, you know, you don't want to add so much product on your nose. So when people do that like straight line, it works for some people, doesn't work for me. So I just grab the excess of concealer and I just distribute it on the rest of my face in the places where I don't want to have too much product, but you need a little bit of product to like balance out your face, because if not you're gonna look crazy with like a bright under eye and then like dark foundation everywhere else. Trust me, I've seen it. It looks really bad. But if you like it, do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, I'm just putting that out there. Next we are going to, or not we, unless you're doing your makeup as I'm doing this, I am going to set my under eye. So what I like to do, make sure all the creases are out, because if you set your concealer and there's a crease in there, ooh, good luck trying to get it out. It's not gonna come out. You're gonna have to take it off unless you figured out a way to do it without taking off your makeup, and if you did, let a girl know. But until then, you gotta make sure all the creases are out and then set your makeup. Now a lot of people bake, and baking is good for oily skin. I used to bake all the time, and what I noticed is that it would start to break up more like during the day. Just put a little bit, like put a light layer of powder on, and I like to do it with my beauty blender just because it adds some moisture back to the skin. Because if you're super oily and you completely take all the moisture out of your face is gonna be like whoa, Sahara Desert going on, you know, all up in my face. So it's gonna want to, you know, produce more oil, and that's not good either. So I try, I'm going in with bronzer, by the way. I really like the one that comes in the Hoola bronzer little thing. Cuts your cheeks really good, you know, does that situation to me, and I like it. Which everything I'm talking about right now and doing, I've learned from other YouTubers. I've learned, you know, I watch all the basics. I watch Desi, I watch Katie, Jacqueline, Manny, Patrick, Jeffrey. So what was I talking about? I don't remember. And that's gonna happen a lot, so I apologize for that. I have like the worst memory ever. But anyways, so next what I'm gonna do, you don't have to do this, sorry, all that powder, you don't have to do this. I'm gonna take the Studio Fix, which I am in, I'm not sure if I said this, I'm in NC20. Well, this is for like highlighting, so it's a lighter shade. What I like to do is I just like to go right on the bridge of my nose. This is what I kind of do instead of using liquid or a cream concealer, just to kind of bring out the bridge of my nose more. And then also to make it, you know, kind of smaller this way, because you know the bronzer had came down a little bit. You want to go straight up like that, and it will make your nose look smaller. I remember when I learned this, it was like a game changer for me, because I didn't know that if I just left the bronzer, it made my nose look a little wider, and this kind of narrows it down. So what I like to do also is, if you feel like there's harsh lines, don't be afraid to go in there with, you know, a huge blending brush and just go ham. I'm using the Morphe G7. So that's what we're gonna do. And if you feel like you ever need more bronzer or more blush, go ahead and add some, because those are the first two things that start to go away on your face throughout the day. It starts to disappear. So always add a little bit more than you think you're gonna need, especially if it's gonna be like a long day. Just add, you know, just add a hair more, just so it could last you a little longer. I like to just kind of, you know, brush it on in this direction. And this is kind of just the basic makeup that I do, or the basic setup. of my foundation routine that I do with any look. I mean, the foundations and the concealer will change. I'll interchange them depending on how I feel that day. Like if I were to wear this to work, I probably wouldn't use the Clinique one, even though the Clinique foundation, I'm gonna go in with highlight now. Even though the Clinique foundation is pretty affordable, I think it's like $21, I want to say, but I still probably wouldn't use it for work, just because, actually I would, I'm lying. Who am I lying to? Yes, I would use it for work, like mixing both colors. It comes with two, so I'm just gonna mix them both because I couldn't figure out which one I like more. A little more fancy. Go ahead and spray a little Fix Plus on there. Do a little on the Cupid's bow. There's this one tip or trick that Katie showed, and I love it, and I've been doing it ever since. I'm gonna dip it into the bronzer, and I'm gonna go right here into the Cupid's bow and contour that a little bit under my lip a little bit. And I like it. I don't know, I feel like it just shows some definition in your face. You know, it shows all the little features that kind of get lost with foundation, because foundation kind of makes your face all one color. So I feel like this just brings back some life into the face. Next, what I do, I think I'm gonna have to use this because I need like a close-up, because this is like the important stuff right now. Eyebrows. Now, if you're my friends and you follow me on Snapchat, you've already seen this little rant that I'm about to go into right now. Now, my eyebrows are completely different. Like this one, like, can you tell which one my favorite is? Obviously my left one is my favorite, and then this one, it's not my favorite. I always start with this one. I should probably start with this one and show it some more love, and maybe it would match up to this one, but you know, it is what it is. Now I use the powders, the Anastasia powders. I guess I don't have to show you this whole palette. I'm gonna use the soft brown one, the light. I only use a light shade on that one. I don't dip into the darker one unless I'm going somewhere. So if you're my friends and you follow me on Snapchat, you know the opinion that I have on my eyebrows. Obviously they look completely different. This one's my favorite. Now we're gonna go ahead with the palette. I'm sorry it's a little messy, but you know what, this is real life, okay? Not all my palettes are clean. Not all of your palettes are clean, so you know, let's just go with it. So I'm gonna go in with the I don't know how to pronounce it. This one, look, this color. Okay, we're going with that one. We're just gonna go all over, all up in the crease. Blend, go above the crease, because this is kind of gonna be the transition shade. I have hooded lids. You can't see a lot of the moving lid, the mobile lid, whatever. You can't see a lot of it. So the eyeshadow kind of disappears when I look like straightforward. I try and go above that, so that way when my eye is open, you can see like, oh hey, eyeshadow. Then I kind of like to extend out a little bit because my eyes are small. So when you do this, it just kind of makes them a little bigger. Oh, and I forgot to say the brush. I'm going in with the Morphe what is this, E13 brush. Looks like this. I hope I didn't look cross-eyed right there. So I'm gonna go in with a clean brush. This is the R37 Morphe brush, and I'm just gonna blend like so. Do the same thing to the other side. What you do to one side, you must do to the other, for all you math people out there. So now I'm gonna go in with this color. Well, I'm gonna mix the first color, and I'm gonna mix this color. So I'm just gonna go in all over this, all over. Really doesn't matter. And then I'll blend. And then I'm gonna go ahead and go in with one of these whatchamacallit. This is the M432 in case you were wondering. And I'm just gonna go in with those same 2 shades. Well, underneath my eye. Whoa, eye booger.
Yeah, nasty.
And then I'm gonna use this one, and then I'm gonna go into the corner of my eye. You can use a brush for this. I'm too lazy to find a brush to do this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in the inner corner of my eye. I'm gonna curl my lashes up to Jesus, if y'all know who that is. Now I have a big problem with putting on mascara and then my eyelashes just like, yeah, like right after I put on mascara. So just get your waterproof mascara and then they won't do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with lipstick, or lipstick, however you want to say it. Going with the Kat Von D one, the bow and arrow, because that is my ride or die one. I love it. Some people like to put on lip liner beforehand. It's a casual look. I don't need lip liner. I'm just trying to make mine even. Okay.
We're rolling.
Alright, so after you're done with all that labor intensive work that I made you go through, this will be the look that you end up with. And my cousin said she doesn't like this, but this is my signature pose. This is what I like to do.
You're acting a fool.
I'm sorry. Now, I beg of you guys, this is my first YouTube video. I'm really happy about it. I mean, I haven't seen the finished cut of it, but I'm, you know, thus far I'm happy with it, and I'm excited to show you guys, you know, what I'm able to do, and I will continue on, show different looks, different things that I can bring to the table. I know there's so many different makeup people right now on YouTube, but I'm me, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Bye, peoples.
Ta-da! We finished.
Okay, let me see.